Welcome. I thought I'd jump on this live stream for Nvidia earnings. I had an appointment, but I got back early, so I thought I'd just jump on. That's the way I'm going to roll here with these live things. So Nvidia is at the moment about to report. I think they're usually late. It's now 4 minutes past it. Last time it was about 15 past, so 15 past the hour, so we might have to wait, but we'll go through some things while we're waiting, and hopefully people will jump on the live stream here. It'll take a while. That's okay. You can watch the playback if you're interested in this. So today the stock, we're going to see after hours what's happened to the stock. Let's just refresh that, make sure. So after hours now, it's up 0.26%. We're going to see what happens to the stock price, and we're going to see what happens to earnings. Let me just check and see. They haven't updated the earnings yet. We're looking for Q3 2025. It actually is there, and we will have a look. I'll just share screen with you. There's the financial reports. We'll have to see. We might get a press release, or we might see something on the website on CNBC and so forth. Nvidia to report third quarter earnings after the bell. There we go. Let's see. We're going to get a preview of what's going on. It doesn't matter if we get it exactly live, but the market is going to react. Let's have a look here. Sorry, I forgot to share screen. I was just quite caffeinated up there. As I said, I just got back from an appointment. I didn't think I was going to do one of these today. So feel free to comment if you like. And we will get into it. This Nvidia, and let me just check everything's working here. Hello if you're joining there, if you're joining now. So you can see on screen there, I'll read it out. Nvidia to report earnings. Third quarter revenue is expected to be 33.16 billion according to LSEG estimates. Fourth quarter sales to forecast, let me just make that bigger. Fourth quarter sales is forecast at 37.08 billion due to AI demand. Well, we're going to see what that demand is like for the quarter. There's expectations here. Investors will be on tenterhooks here. The reason I'm going to cover this is because I'm actually not invested in Nvidia at this time, but it's going to affect the whole market, isn't it? It really is. So we're going to see what happens here. For Nvidia, it's just 0.27% after hours at the moment. Nvidia could also reveal demand for company's next-gen AI chip Blackwell, which is the key to the company's future growth. Nvidia share price has tripled in 2024, but sales growth is slowing. So each quarter it's come out, it's been a little bit slowed down. So we're going to watch for that as well. We will see what the deal is when it comes to, their growth, their expectations. Nvidia reports fiscal third quarter earnings, revenue 33.16 billion. And now Nvidia sees the current quarter shaping up is even more important than the results. That's true. We know that it's had a massive year. Let's have a look. Just you check the share price, 202.86% year to date. I mean, it's pretty historic, this kind of thing, for such a big company. We're looking at the market cap of 3.58 trillion. I mean, how much can it keep on growing like this? At some point, I think everybody knows that it's going to not beat expectations. Marissa, hi Marissa, is excited, just holding my breath. I have several shares for the long haul. Okay, well, crossing fingers for you, see how it goes. I mean, how long can we go on like this? That's the question. So we will have to see. The long haul, I mean, Stan Druckenmiller said that too. He said he's planning to be in Nvidia for the long term, but he tends to trade in and out. And we're going to be able to tell by the stock price here what the market. We're going to be able to tell straight away what happens, what the market thinks of this. Just basically seconds after the market's going to react. So we'll be able to tell without and some people, the institutions tend to get it pretty early. Here's another. We're moments away. We're probably just minutes away now. Actually, we have to. I'll just keep an eye on that, or keep an eye on that share price. If you got it on the screen, it's now 0.45 down. It's hit down. Have we got any results yet? I'm just checking the background here, see what's going on. Annual reports, news on the website. I'm just checking in the background here. Okay, we got no news yet. We will be able to tell straight away. I think breaking big. Okay, let's just check this out before we see. There's no real hurry there. It's not going to affect, unless you're just trading, day trading, it's not going to matter too much. S&P 500 closes little change as Nvidia big earnings report looms, live updates. Okay. S&P 500 was little change, shares dropping about 1% ahead of its highly anticipated earnings, highly anticipated for sure. Investors are also assessed disappointing results from Target. Okay, I haven't seen that news yet. The broad index closed change at 5,917, while the Dow Jones, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that. The NASDAQ closed 0.1%, lost 0.1%. So on the day, all right, again, I'm just going to check and see if we got any reaction from the stock price. Down 0.72% so far. Does that mean anything? Jitters over Nvidia's earnings are climbing, and climbing political tensions are worrying investors. Okay, we've got a war. I heard Blackwell may have issues. Yes, I saw that, overheating issues. That's actually not new. That's happened before, and they kind of got over that. So, I'm not sure if the market really cares about that too much, but we'll see if they say anything about it. That will be something that will be probably quite important. Now, I just want to see if we can get that news straight away soon. I'm sure. Let's see if we got. I'm just updating the background here. They haven't updated the site yet. I don't think I'll hang around for the earnings call. This is just jumping on the stream to see. No news yet. See, the news sites tend to get it before anybody else. So we're going to get breaking news. Oh, I don't want to see that. I'm going to change it to the stock price, and we'll see, so we can see this live. Okay, no reaction yet, so I don't think we've quite got it yet. So everybody on tender hooks to see what happens. Just in the background here. No reaction, slightly up, just not much reaction at all from the market so far. So we know that nothing's really happened, unless it's exactly on expectations. Come on. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? This is the exciting part of the stock market. Let's just read this. Nvidia earnings today. This is on X. We see Nvidia is set to announce the quarterly earnings after the market closes on November 20th. The financial community anticipates an earnings per share of 0.75 cents and revenue around 33.1 billion. So that's what we're looking for, representing significant year-over-year growth. The stock's performance post-earnings is expected to be volatile. Okay, we'll see, with potential movements of up to 8.4% in either direction. So, yeah, and that is a massive market cap. You think of a $3.5 trillion market cap. So 8.4%, if that's expected. I mean, they don't know. Expected to grow by 97% year over year, driven by demand for AI technologies. The outcome of Nvidia's earnings could influence not only its stock price, but also broader market trends, which is why I'm covering it. given the pivotal role in the tech sector. Okay, let's just check this share price again. Nothing happened so far. Nothing happened yet. Last time it was about 15 past, so it's now 14 past the hour. So we are expecting something pretty damn soon. A lot of people who are expecting it dead on, or just after the hour, we're disappointed. We'll be wondering what's going on, but they do tend to be, it does tend to be a little slow in anticipation. And SP 500, as they said, closed up on the day, not much. Come on, Nvidia, let's go. Let me know in the stock. If this price drops, I planned to dollar cost average, okay? If the price drops, okay. Well, the question is, how much could it drop? If and when there is an eventual bear market, how much will it drop? That's the question. So let's see. No reaction from the stock price yet. No reaction whatsoever. So people, just the market. Now you have to realize there are some big Wall Street traders kind of going to react to this, and there's that whole high speed trading now too. So this is potentially one of the most important earnings of the year. See, let's see. I'm going to swap to X here because we might get the news actually first on here. Predict what price Nvidia opens trading today. That's 4 hours ago. Actually, I'm gonna look up on X because we'll follow. I find this is really good to see. If we see latest earnings on X, we can see, here we go, tech stocks, Nvidia, nothing happening yet. What will happen, up or down? What should we pick? It's a kind of crapshoot. Let's pick up. 100% of people, only just one vote because it's a new poll. Mark Cuban is short Nvidia. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. Just check the stock price. It's the best way to see that it's if the earnings have come out. So it's 0.11% up right now. I'm just in the background here. Nvidia key metrics. Okay. Ready for launch. There's much going on. Okay. I'm going to throw up. See that, Nvidia? I'm going to throw up. That's the way people are feeling who are in the stock. And other people like me have got their popcorn out. I'm kind of like that at the moment. If I can get in for 120, I'm buying. Okay. It's not me. I'm sitting this one out. And nothing's happened with the stock yet. Wow, it's nearly 20 after the hour now, so nothing happening. I'm going to hit that press release. When we see this here, I'm going to hit the press release to CQ these earnings here, and so we can get into it. But first of all, we'll probably see, we will see it first on here, I think. I swear I opened Trading View and saw the post hour trading of Nvidia at $77. If Nvidia beats expectations, how long can we wait? Just get on with it. What are they doing? I mean, it's not as if they'll be preparing for the earnings call and all that. Let's see. We're going to get a reaction. It's up 0.11% right now. After hours, it's going up and down in a narrow channel. All eyes on this. I can't stand the anticipation. Grab Nvidia. If Nvidia misses earnings in 2 minutes, your meme coins will actually become worthless. And that's an interesting point, actually, that this is the way that Nvidia, it's become so top heavy, the market, that even like an Nvidia earnings, if they came out with bad earnings, it could crash a lot of things, I think, but I don't know. It's just mere speculation. Nvidia, if it doesn't beat earnings and explode, no one is getting shit this year. That's Santa Claus, obviously. There's no Santa Claus rally. No Santa Claus rally for you. It's to ease the tension. It's good to see the memes here. House of Traders, that's not an ad. Okay, I'm going to check the stock again. Nothing happening yet. Wow, it's nearly 20 after the hour. It's up 0.16. Does that mean anything? I don't think so. We're going to get... This is funny how there's an immediate reaction to these things. Come on with this Nvidia earnings smash so we can get this money. Everyone watching Nvidia stock, Nvidia earnings right now. It's true, isn't it? Okay. I mean, I'm a long-term investor. We're all long-term investors, hopefully, here. So we don't care too much about what happens, but it is exciting. This is the exciting part of the stock market. I'm keeping my eyes on the investor page. Nothing yet. All eyes on Nvidia. At this point, I don't really want to start reading articles because it's going to come out any second now, I would say. Nvidia EPS beat 0.6 revenue, almost $2 billion beat. Q3 adjusted EPS US dollar 0.18 versus estimate of 0.75. Outlook Q4 revenue USD 37.500 million. 100% think Nvidia will beat. It looks like there is a beat, but is it a beat enough? So the earnings are out, and it's a beat on those ones, but that doesn't mean a lot. The outlook is up. Let's see what's happening. So 5.3% down we are now. 5.3% down. Not coming into expectations, you'd have to say. You know, that's the market was wanting more, obviously, than this. I'm going to have to go into the details, but we are down, heading down. It's around 5% is the immediate reaction, but we're going to have to dig in and see what's going on here. I'm still not seeing anything on the website, so obviously news sites get this. I think news sites, they send the information to the news sites first. I'm just checking and see if we can get any information. Probably still X is again, Elon's X is the place. Stock down 5.5% until now. Whoops, low price looking like it isn't going to 200. Earnings EPS 0.75 versus 0.7. Well, EPS earnings per share 0.78 versus 0.75 expected. So that's a beat. But the question is it enough? It seems the market's not thinking so. Revenue of 35 billion versus expected 33.1, and it's down. So sorry, you're not seeing this, so I'm sharing this. Earnings, yep. So it did come in over expectation, but not enough for the market at the moment. 4.15 down. So what do you think about that? Is that enough to buy the dip for people who want to buy the dip, or not? I mean, it's aftermarket, so we have to go through the earnings. I mean, they'll go through the earnings call, but not under expectations. So what is going to happen to the market tomorrow, I wonder? We'll see what people are saying. Who told you Nvidia will beat earnings? We know that it has the greatest bubble of our generation. Somebody says 6% higher than expectations, but still dumps to oblivion. Not oblivion. Nvidia earnings are out there. Here are the numbers. Revenue 35.08 billion versus 33.16. Okay, let's just have a think about that. So 35 0.08. So they did beat, but a percentage beat, maybe not what the market wanted in terms of, the sequential beats that they've had. I mean, these are such high expectations. It's incredible. And a $3.5 trillion company. Let's see what's happening. I'm just going to check what's happening to the stock. It seems to have recovered. It's recovered. So it's 1.23% down. So after that initial reaction, recovering. Let's see if I can get any sorry. Let's just see what. I'm just in the background here reading things. AI chip leader Nvidia forecast 4-quarter earnings revenue above estimates. Okay, let's read this article. This will be interesting. We'll just have a quick look at this. Nvidia forecast 4th-quarter revenue above market estimates on Wednesday, beating on sustained demand for its leading AI chips from businesses racing to adopt the latest generative AI, blah, blah. The company forecast revenue of $37.5 billion, plus or minus 2% for the quarter, compared with, analysts' average estimate of 37.09. So it did beat sort of slightly according to data. Okay, so let's just check. I want to keep an eye on that stock price. We do have, it's down 1.36%. So that dip of 5% was short-lived. People kind of buying that dip. We've got institutional investors buying after hours, I would say. So Marissa says, maybe super micro troubles affected the sales, ? I heard SMCI couldn't buy chips they secured from Nvidia. Would that be true? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's amazing that it hasn't affected it much with the super micro. When your auditor resigns, that's kind of big trouble. And it's amazing that it hasn't affected the likes of Nvidia, seeing they do have communications and they do kind of work together, including XAI, as I understand it. They, the data center there that happened quickly. I'm just going to check that we can't. Here we go. It's up. So let's look at the press release. And CFO commentary. Here we are. So we've got CFO commentary, Nvidia quarterly trend. I'm going to look at all these. And the webcast is not up yet. So let's see. And so here we go. I'm just quickly make sure I'm sharing that. Yes, here we are. Nvidia announces financial results for the 3rd quarter fiscal 2025. Record quarterly revenue of $35.1 billion. We know that, up 17% from Q2 and up 94% for a year ago. So 94% is, I mean, if you step back and think about that, but it's incredible. It's incredible. But, the expectations that the market has on it have been pretty intense. So it's really about the expectations and the guidance. Let's read on. Record quarterly data center revenue. That's the important, the AI part of it, their data center. Remember, a few years ago, NVIDIA used to be known as kind of a gaming chip company or gaming company, supplying to gamers when that was growing. But now the data center AI has sort of taken over. Up 17% from Q2 and up 112% from a year ago. So their data center AI up 112%. I mean, it's pretty impressive, but as I said, super high expectations from the market. Today reported revenue for the 3rd quarter, $35.1 billion. We know that 17% up from previous quarter and up 94%. For the quarter, GAAP earnings per diluted share was 78 cents, up 16% from previous quarter. I mean, 16% from one quarter is pretty good, and 111% from a year ago. Non-GAAP earnings per diluted share was 81 cents, up 19% from the previous quarter and 103% from a year ago. The age of AI is The age of AI is in full steam, propelling a global shift to Nvidia computing, says Jensen, founder of and CEO of Nvidia. Demand for Hopper and anticipation for Blackwell in full production are incredible as foundation model makes markers scale pertaining post-training and inference. AI is transforming every industry. I mean, this is kind of marketing stuff, isn't it? Not really saying anything of substance here, except for the AI is booming. The company and country enterprises are adopting blah blah. I'm just reading ahead here. Countries have awakened to the importance, blah blah blah. Nvidia will pay its next quarterly cash dividend of 0.01 cent per share. I mean, it's a token dividend, and really, should they? It's arguable whether they should be doing that or just reinvesting to all shareholders as of December 5th. So the problem that I had with Nvidia is that they're buying their buybacks. They did have buybacks, and if you're a Warren Buffett, you would be thinking that that's not the best use of money to be doing buybacks when the stock price is climbing higher and higher and higher. You'd be wanting to do that when, say, there's a market crash, for instance. But they kind of tend to do what investors want a little bit, which I don't like that. So here are the comparisons year on year. So revenue up 94% year on year, gross margin up 0.6 and down quarter on quarter. Operating expenses, let me just check the share price while we're at it, see where we're at. Down 3.4%, the share price is right now. So still down. So we'll probably look for guidance here would be the main thing, really. Operating expenses up 44%. So building out new things. Operating income up 110% for the year and 17% for the quarter. We saw that net income up 109% for the year, 16% for the quarter. Diluted earnings per share 111% for the quarter and up 16% for the quarter and 111% for the year. Revenue up 94% for the year. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? 17% for the quarter. Gross margin down 0.17% for the quarter. See, the market won't like that particularly. It's only marginal. If we look back, we can see 75%, 75%, 75% gross margin. The margins are incredible for this company. And so this is one of the reasons that it's gone up so much. Operating expenses up 50% for the year. I mean, you'd have to expect that with a company growing so fast. Up 9% for the quarter. Operating income up 17%. Net income up 18% for the quarter. Diluted earnings per share up 19%. So obviously, okay, here we are. Here's the outlook. Let's dive into this, because this will be what the market is reacting to. Okay, let's get into this. Sorry, I'm just reading comments here. Maybe Supermicro troubles affected the sales. Did we look at that? We haven't looked at that. Okay, so let's look at the outlook for Nvidia. What management actually says about it. Just made that a bit bigger. Nvidia's outlook for the fourth quarter of fiscal 2025 is as follows. Revenue is expected to be $37.5 billion, plus or minus 2%. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to be 73%, respectively. That's down, isn't it? That's down. They have 75%, wasn't it? Gross margins, let's just check that. Gross margin was 74, 75, 74. Okay, so that's a little bit down. It's a little bit down. Operating expenses are expected to approximately be 4.8 billion and 3.4 billion, respectively. Income and expenses are expected to be an income of approximately 400 million. Tax rate is expected to be 16.5 billion, plus or minus 1%. Highlights: Nvidia achieved progress since its previous earnings announcement in these three areas. And so not three areas, these areas. So data center, third quarter revenue was a record 30.8 billion, up 17%. We've seen this. So here we go. Announced the availability of Nvidia Hopper H200 powered instances and several cloud services. CoreWeave and Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. See, these are the big buyers. So when they ease off buying, that's when there's going to be problems, but it doesn't seem to be the case just yet. Launched Denmark's largest sovereign AI supercomputer. Introduced NVIDIA AI aerial platform. I'm not familiar with one of these some of these because I'm not an investor. Announced the SoftBank Corp is building Japan's first powerful AI computer with NVIDIA Blackwell. That news came out earlier. Revealed the cloud leaders in India, Japan, and Indonesia are building AI infrastructure. So every company's building AI infrastructure. It's the reason for this. Let's just check the stock price while we're here. See what's going on. Well, we'll take a break and look at the stock price. 3.41% we are. Actually 1.8%, so recovering somewhat. Revealed the cloud leaders, blah, blah. Okay, I'm just going to read through Foxconn. So these are just highlights from the quarter, really, that we knew about. Gaming and PC. Up 15% from a year ago, 14% for the quarters. I mean, that's pretty good in itself. It's not double figure percentages up for the year. Still not bad. Celebrating 25th anniversary of GeForce. CFO commentary. Commentary in the quarter is available that's here. And there's the conference call. Okay, what else can we look at? Here we go. Here's the commentary. Can you see that? Yep, good. Okay, so CFO commentary on the third quarter. Just going to see if there's anything that we haven't seen yet. I'm not going to repeat all this information because we've just seen this in the highlights. We've got gross margins, operating expenses, operating income, net margin. So it seems to me, just an overall impression so far, the reason that it's down is that, I mean, it did beat expectations, but it didn't blow us out of the water. But I mean, can we expect that at this point after growing so much, over 100% in the year to date, and the stock price up so much? Would have to have done something incredibly special to really blow the market out of the water, but not up, not down. If we look at the stock price, it's down 1.7. I mean, it's not. Did we really expect it to jump a lot? I mean, that commentary did say it could go up 8.6% up or down in either direction. I mean, it could go on the earnings call of what Jensen says in the call. If there's something that's not in these results, that if there was a surprise, it would probably be he would probably sort of slip it into the conference call or the analyst questions at the end. I don't think I'm going to stick around for that. It's probably a while away. I don't even know when that is. Might have a look here. Revenue. So gross margins. So gross margins down a bit. I mean, slightly, but 75% gross margins is pretty incredible. Operating expenses up. We have to expect that for building out new things. Well, associated expenses with that. Computing and networking. Revenue by segments. So all of them up. Graphics up. Computer networking up. Data center revenue by platform up 112. Compute 132. Networking 20. Gaming up 15. This is year on year. And for the quarter, up, all up. There's nothing down. It's just a question of how much. It's just a question of how much it's up. 30% automotive. That's interesting, and 72%. So automotive, to do with compute with electric cars and automation. That's going to be growing. you'd have to say, over time. And OEM and other up 10%. So everything up, double digits. But really that data center revenue is what people are focusing on, is over 100%. How long can it go on? Just see if there's any commentary here. Okay, I don't think there's any more information that we can glean from that at this date. Let's have a look at this. So Nvidia quarter, can you just see that? Yep, okay. Nvidia quarterly revenue trend. Okay, this is data center trend. If you look at that trend, can you see all of that top line? Yes, 30.77. So the trend is, look way back in Q4 2023, it was 3 and now it's 30. I mean, that's incredible growth, isn't it, for data center? It was 3, that's even not that long ago. Q4 2023, it was only 3 billion and now it's 30.7. Gaming was back then 1.8 and now it's 3.2. So that's kind of more sort of normal kind of growth. It's just explosive growth in data center. Professional visualization has kind of doubled, more than doubled. And auto has gone from 294 to 449. So that's one to keep an eye on too. But not explosive growth, but definitely just growth in all areas. And overall, from Q4 2023, it's gone from 6 billion to now 35. So incredible growth. But the question is, how long can it be sustained, this kind of growth? Let's see if there's any more commentary from Jensen. No, not on that main page. All right. Well, let's just check back on the stock price. Down 2.66%. I'm just going to check on the audio. When is the earnings call? It won't be for a while. I've got other things to do, so I may not stick around for that. Let's just see if we've got any more commentary from the markets. Q3 earnings. Okay, I'm just looking around to see if we've got any. I'm just going to check and see if we've got any commentary from these networks. Nothing there. See if we've got something on Yahoo. Sorry. Ooh, just digesting this news. Forecast top expectations. Oh, just catching a breath. Okay, we got nothing there yet. I guess, so Marissa says, I guess retail investors overhyped earnings and are over it. Well, I don't know if people are over it just yet. It's not a big drop, not a massive drop so far. We're only down 1.88%. So that's it's not like a massive beat. I mean, it's not a massive jump, but it's it's hard to know what the market's going to do. It's sort of just a nothing burger so far, like a lot of expectations in, but the market it's not going to crash the market based on that. Not getting any commentary just yet from what people say. Wow, I can see there. There's a sentencing of that guy Bill Wang from who sentenced to 18 years in prison. But that's beside the point. So there's not a lot of commentary yet. People digesting it. Wow, there's a lot of Indian billionaire indicted. There's a lot of kind of legal news going on here today in particular. Why is that? All right, so it's down 2% now. So that's general. All right. Just like last earnings. Yeah, I mean, it did consistent. Let's call it consistent. I mean, it's not a massive, I mean, for it to crash the market, to crash the stock, it would have to come in under expectations, and it didn't do that. It beat expectations, but there's only so much that so many times it can beat by a lot when it's grown over, like, what was it, 114% for the year. I mean, that's pretty incredible for the market to expect more than that. It's really got to, do more. But how much? One of the things that I noticed is the main clients are these so-called hyperscalers. We've got Meta and Google and Microsoft and all those who are building these AI centers. We've got XAI who built a big new data center with Nvidia chips in it. So, there's a certain point where there's been a lot of demand. Maybe there's demand outside that. Even on a country scale, they did mention there in the commentary that there are some things going on at a country scale. Countries building these massive data centers to stay sort of competitive. But really, it has to be to beat by a significant amount for it to jump more. We're about 2% down. So, I guess part of what one of the metrics was there that I think was at gross margins just coming in a little bit under. That would be the only thing that might have not been expected. Or it's just sort of within expectations would be my major comment on there, and that's what's happened. Unless something happens in the earnings call, but I wouldn't expect too much. Jensen's a good talker. I don't think he's going to talk it up. If anything, he's a good marketer, like perhaps even better than Elon. Not so controversial, just coming up with the goods. So I guess we wait till next quarter to see. Again, there'll be the same thing. We've got this AI boom going on. Based on this, if Nvidia is the kind of linchpin, we'd have to say that things are, carrying on. This train is still running. It's not a runaway train, but we've just had Palantir earnings. These companies that are associated with AI, like Palantir, like Nvidia. One of the stocks that I have is Spotify, and even that has gone up over 100% in the past year, and year to date. There's a bunch of stocks that are up over 100%. We kind of get used to that, but it's unusual. Ever since, if you remember that there was a bear market and in 2022, and then it just took off. As ChatGPT was the moment that changed it all. And I'm just going to look. Let's go back to I'm going to check the S&P 500 so we can see what's happened, really, and I can compare it to the NASDAQ as well. I mean, just to put things into perspective, if we look back over the past 5 years, you know, if you've been in the market for that long or longer, you'll remember what's going on here. But the expectations here, this was the peak of the market, the NASDAQ as well, and a lot of tech stocks. And then we had this bear market. There was a lot, if you had the feeling, the sentiment was so different during 2022. Bear market for tech. Some of these stocks were down. Emerging tech stocks. Remember ARK? If you look at the graph for ARK, it sort of typifies what happened. It went down. You know, stocks went down 60, 70, 80, 90%. Some haven't even recovered from then, and they're kind of left in the dust. And then we had stocks that were AI related from here. The Chat GPT moment was here, and it's just been soaring ever since. Nvidia, Palantir, so many other tech stocks, you know, dragged along with it. So how long can it last? One of my favorites, as I keep saying, is this one, which is the Shiller P ratio. I'm going to have to make that smaller because I'm in the way there. Unless I change it. Let me just move myself somewhere else. So yeah, here we go. The Shiller P ratio. I keep talking about this. But this is the market is the US market is, you could say, about the third most expensive it's ever been, and that was that when we were talking about the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. That was this point, and then that bear market went down, and then we're back right up to where it was based on AI. So this is why this is important, I think, for Nvidia. You know, this is leading the charge into AI, but it's all systems go. We can say here. I mean, it's gone down a little bit, but this is still on track. There's nothing here that interrupted this. So maybe for another quarter, I don't know. We've hit the elections over now. So maybe it's full steam ahead in terms of this AI boom. Is it a bubble? That's, you know, debatable. Stan Druckenmiller sold out of Nvidia. He said around, what was it? Around, I think he said around 800 or so. So we're looking at, well, that would have been 80 back then. So it's now 145. So he is saying that he sold too early. He made a mistake. That would have been back there in March 2024. Look at that. So it's gone up. It's up 66% since he sold out. One of the best investors of the past few decades sold out then. But, you know, if it is indeed a bubble, if these AI stocks are getting into a bubble situation, then very hard to time. So I mean, I think at some point it's going to go down. I think a lot of these, if you just take Nvidia out of it, if I look at Spotify, because that's a stock that I do know that I just wouldn't be surprised not to wake up one day, but over a period of time to be cut in half by 50%. I'm expecting that, and been thinking about trimming that a little bit for that reason. And if you look at stocks like Palantir, so I can't say I'm bearish, because I think this could go on. This could easily, if it doesn't turn into like a dot-com bubble situation, it could go on for years yet. It could go on. We could be 1996, 1997, went to 2000. It could go a lot more. But, you know, once it starts going up, if we look at MicroStrategy, we can see what's happened there based on Bitcoin. I don't know if, what's the ticker? MSTR stock. Yep. Let's just look at this. It's pretty incredible. Look at this. Look at the graph for this. I mean, wow. I'm going to move myself back so you can see that again. Look at that. So this is the kind of thing that's been going on in the market. You look at stock after stock. We're in this situation. That is straight up parabolic move. And that's it. You know, I saw on a forum that I was just at, people who are in MicroStrategy saying that people are starting to cotton on, people starting to get interested. And I was like, what? Starting to? We're up year to date 591%. And we've got people saying people are just starting to get interested. I mean, it could go for a long time, but, you know, we've got to put this into perspective. I think that there's a number of stocks, stock after stock, that have, this is probably the most that I've seen, 590 for a stock this big, for a company this big. It's getting to be sizable. Market cap of 96 billion at this point, and just based on buying Bitcoin. So we've got the final thing in the puzzle. I've said over the past few days on these streams that the final puzzle for me in place, if we get into a bubble, is that we have a lot of IPO activity. Remember back in 2021, we had all the SPACs, literally hundreds of SPACs, IPO activity. We haven't seen that yet during this AI boom. So when we start seeing that, we've had some private companies getting a lot of funding. Elia from OpenAI got $1 billion worth of funding for a pre-revenue company that hasn't done anything yet. Stuff like that. So it's good to keep an eye on it in terms of market sentiment. But I think that's where we're at the moment. So I am going to sign off. I'm not going to wait for the earnings call. Thanks for joining me. I just jumped on here and I'll be doing more. This is more, I didn't do the vertical live format today. I did the normal format. And I'm just mixing it up, see what works, see what doesn't on the stocks, on this stock chat show channel. So I'm going to be doing more of these. I think this was an important one, and I'm not going to say it was a nothing burger, because it was something. It was definitely something, and just we're down 1.88%. So really, if people were expecting a big jump, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting a big beat. Thanks Darren and Marissa too for your comments there, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much for joining us. I will see you next time, and won't be too long. I'm going to do more of these live streams, so I'll see you later. Have a great, if you're day or night. It's a day for me, probably night for you if you're in the US, and see you next time. End stream.